everybody. Welcome in to another live stream. I know I've been here, I've been there, I've kind of been all over the place with these live streams. I haven't really had a ton of time to work on cars lately. Most of my work has been decals and design work, which I'm finding out takes up a lot of time. So yeah, so this car, I already did a little bit of work before I put this big white decal down on the side, on each side, to get that started. I had to use the heat gun to get it to contour around the fender openings and the side skirts and by the window openings. So I did that off camera right before we started. And again, I'm pretty bad at doing things ahead of time, so I didn't cut everything out, but we're gonna just have to deal with that. So glad to see everybody here. Hopefully you guys are having a good day, enjoying the weather wherever you are. It's been hot up here in the old OH. That's summer for you. But yeah, so like I said before, this car, I had to do a little pre-work on it before we went live. I got the old reference pictures going on over that direction, trying a little closer camera angle so you guys can see all the work that's being done. Fun fact about these decals is I designed them, well, I created them specifically for this car myself. The person that's getting this car is a pit crew member for Ryan Sieg Racing, for the team, and we kind of have a deal where every time he gets the top 5 in the car, I make him a diecast. So it started a couple years ago. Well, let me say it this way. He got a top 10 a few years ago. I had made a car for Ryan Vargas, which was the driver of the number 6 car back in the day. 2022, I think it was. My name was on that car. I think I've told this story multiple times. Anyway, he was a pit crew member on that car back in 2022, and he wanted that car. So I made him one and sent it to him, and he's like, hey, I want this other one that I got a top 10 in. Oh, that was the whole point, is he was on that team and he got a top 10 with the team in that car. So he wanted one for himself, and I was like, of course, I can do that. I can make you one. So I made him one. He really liked it. And then going forward, we have decided that every time their team gets a top 5, then I'll make him a car. So earlier this year, they ran at Pocono and got a top 5. I think they finished 4th actually in that race. And then wait, did I say Pocono? I meant Phoenix. Phoenix was the first top 5. They finished 4th. It was a backup car. Interesting story about that car. I'll tell that later. This car was the Pocono one, so the second top 5 of the year. And then just this past weekend at Indianapolis, they got another top 5. So they finished 5th at Indianapolis in the Pocono car. It was the same car that they ran at Pocono. So kind of funny, a little behind the scenes information. And so him and I kind of worked together on getting the decals ready and available for that car. So that one, I pretty much have the design work done. It was basically this exact car. But this was from Pocono. So what we're going to work on today, the Pocono car. Hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, thanks for tuning in. Spend a little bit of your evening with me. As I stated before, we already have the door decal on. I personally, okay, so getting back to that statement, I made these decals myself for this car. he sent me the files for the graphics, and I turned them into basically what is able to be put on this car. So the hard work was getting all of the graphics to fit the body of this particular diecast very specifically, making sure everything fit and was proportional. That was a lot of the legwork in the design. And again, like I said, I didn't cut anything out before we started streaming. So if you're just joining, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to do a lot of decal cutting out. And this is the first time I'm making this particular paint scheme, so I'm kind of learning a little bit about it and how it goes on the car. Normally, when I work on these, they're typically paint schemes that I've done before in the past or that I'm somewhat familiar with. This one I've never done anything with, so I'm trying to also learn kind of how to put all the decals on in what order. So just trying to learn how to do that in the order that I want to do it in. And I'm trying to make it as exact as I possibly can, which is something I take pride in my work. I spent a lot of time on the decals making them, so I want to get it exact. Speaking of exact, so that first car that I was talking about, that Phoenix car, I was going to make it a raced version, and interestingly enough, I just saw on Twitter a guy, well, I didn't just see it, but a guy posted that Phoenix car on Twitter, my Phoenix car, and I was very, very confused when I saw it because I thought, oh, maybe somehow he got a hold of my decal sheet, because up to this point I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that has made any decals for that car that I've seen, notwithstanding Pato's place in Australia. But the thing with them, their decals aren't, they're decent quality, but they're not exact to the cars. They kind of just take a template and get it close to what the car is, but it's not really, I mean, it's not really that close, if we're being honest, for most cars. I've definitely dealt with Pato's in the past. I've used tons and tons of decals from those guys, and like I said, they're pretty good quality. But the thing is they're not always perfectly contoured to the bodies and the shapes of the cars. So if they made a decal sheet, I would bet that it's not exactly that close. But who knows? So anyway, I hadn't seen anybody make that diecast, make that decal sheet yet, and so I was very, very surprised when I saw that particular car, and I was like, wow, that looks really familiar. And I did a little bit more digging, and I found out that it is my car, or at least I looked at it as closely as I could, and pretty much summed it up, or discovered, I guess, I don't know how I want to say it, that it is mine. And I think what happened was I sent it to my buddy that works on this car and that I made it for, and he sent it over for customization, because I didn't make it a raced version because I didn't want to get anything wrong on it. So I wanted to take a little bit of extra time to make sure that it was 100% right, because I did print off 2 sheets. Actually, you know what? Since we're talking about it, it's this sheet right here. This one. So again, another 39 car, but it's like this exact sheet, and I noticed that it has all the same grill openings and grill tape on it, and all the nuances of this sheet, like the fuel inlet, it had a bolt pattern around it and a little, like, well, what I put on the sheet. So I was like, dang, that has to be my car. And through, I think, deductive or inductive reasoning, I don't remember what it is, I think it is mine. So what I think happened was my buddy sent it over to him so that he could add the raced version markings on it, and then he got it back or whatever. So it's not that big of a deal. I just thought it was funny that one of my cars, I saw it out in the wild, even though I made it for someone very specific. So it's not a big deal. It just kind of cracked me up a little bit. It was a little bit funny. So hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining. Tonight it was going to be a night where I watch or listen to the Columbus Crew. So big soccer fan. Columbus is our hometown team, so to speak, and they're playing in a thing called the Leagues Cup. And I was going to watch that, but I figured I gotta go live, show this off to the world, the skills, I guess, the behind the scenes. Maybe I should start calling these streams behind the scenes. What do you guys think? Should I rename all of my live streams to behind the scenes? Probably get better engagement or something. I don't know. I'm not really doing it for the algorithm. I'm kind of doing it so I have a documentation of the cars that I'm working on. And I've said this before in other streams, I'm going to be working on these cars anyway, so I might as well share it with you guys. So I figured why not go live. Message retracted. Wonder what that means. But yeah, I like the new name idea, behind the scenes. Okay. All right. I'll consider that. I'll consider changing it. We can make that happen. I like it too. I think it'll be kind of an eye catcher for people that just join the channel. So yeah, I'll probably end up doing that. Maybe not now. I don't even know how to change the name of this stream on the fly. Still kind of new to it. I've only had this channel for about a year, a little over a year, and I've only been doing live streams for a little bit less than that. So still kind of learning it, and I don't do live streams enough to really learn and understand all the nuances. I'm still learning it a little bit. Well, a lot of it. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, seeing that car out in the wild that I made for a specific guy was kind of funny, but I think I understand the whole situation now. It's not a big deal. But as you can see here, I also, this time, a little bit different than what I typically do. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll paint over the top of the names on the windshield banners, and this particular time I decided to scrub all of the decals off of, well, the back windows, back side windows, and then the rear window and front windshield. So I think I'm gonna like doing that way better. It's a little bit more involved, but that's not that big of a deal to me personally. So all right, as you can see, this is Ryan Sieg's number 39. SciAps. Still don't really know what SciAps is. I didn't do a whole lot of research on the company itself. I did the research to get all of the images for this car to get like this Z logo. I don't really know what the Z stands for, but it also has an X logo. And that's a unique part about this car, is on the driver's side it has the Z logo, and on the passenger side it has the X logo, so it's, I guess you can consider it non-symmetrical, which I find fascinating because most cars are symmetrical with the same sponsor on both sides. So yeah, just a neat little bit of information about this car. I forgot to ask, are the audio levels okay? Sound is good, video is good, everything jiving nicely. Pardon me while I take a quick drink. Hopefully. I haven't heard otherwise, so as the saying goes, no news is good news. So yeah, this decal sheet was made by me, and I'd spent a lot of hours working on it, getting it to fit the car exactly, and I just, so far with what the pieces that I've put on it, I can't be more happy with the way that they fit the body of the car. And it should be perfect. I designed it all myself and made it and sent it to be printed and made sure all the measurements were exact. So if any bit of it's wrong, I only have myself to blame, which I'm fine with. I really don't like using stuff from other people anymore. I've become a little bit spoiled that I've got my own program to design the decals in. But yeah, this is the first time. Sounding great, loud and clear, video sharp. Good. Glad that all of that is the case. Yeah, so this year, I guess last year, I got Xfinity Designer. It's kind of like a Photoshop program, I think. I've never actually used Photoshop, but Adobe Illustrator, I guess, is what it's comparable to. And it's been really, really fun to get into all the decals and work on everything and spend a lot of time doing it. You can get lost in the weeds working on these sorts of things, lost in the decals. Like, for example, this. So once, well, let's see. Okay. Once we get this main decal on the whole side, this stripe right here is black, and it will go exactly to where I masked it off. I don't know if that's like serendipity or me just being super special, but yeah, the fact that it lined up perfectly on both sides too. I mean, it lined up exact on this side as well. So again, couldn't be more happy with the way that it's turning out so far. Don't want to get ahead of myself because things can always go wrong, as I've learned many times working on these cars. So if you're new here, what I'm doing is I'm applying a decal setting solution. It basically softens the decals up so that they can fit over the contours of the cars, of the body. So this particular area has the hood pins on it, and so it's kind of hard. I probably, now that I think about this, I probably should have done this off camera too, just because of the difficulty of it, but we'll make it work. I gotta check out the reference picture. Yeah, that's what I thought. So the one thing I don't love about it, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so sorry if I'm not talking a whole lot for this specific decal, as I gotta focus a lot to get it exact. Because this is the main one. You see the hood? Well, part of the main one anyway. This decal was, so the file that I was given, it was close to being right, but I didn't like it because it wasn't exact. So I took it upon myself to kind of redesign a large portion of the sheet and get it as exact as possible. It's not perfect, but it's very close. So, like I said before, I'm pretty proud of the way that the sheet turned out as a whole. And I'm just excited to make this car because it's one that you see on the track pretty much every week. I mean, Ryan Sieg basically runs the same paint scheme every single week. And I don't think, I did a little bit of research, I don't think it's ever been produced in diecast form. I don't think any Ryan Sieg diecast has been produced, which is pretty disappointing. But that's how the current market is for the diecast world, and Lionel monopolizing the industry. If they don't make the car, nobody makes the car. You don't get the car of your favorite driver or some of the underfunded teams or the smaller teams or drivers. So that's where this comes into play, and it's just a fun little hobby. Like, I enjoy doing it, and seeing the people's faces when they see the cars is a lot of fun. I just sent some to an ARCA driver, Jason Alexander. He received those in the mail and was pretty excited about them. He jumped on a live stream a while ago when we were working on them, and he's up and coming, and there's no way his diecast would ever get made in the current state. I mean, ARCA, just ARCA in general, they're having a hard time making Cletus's diecast, which is crazy to think about how popular he is. But yeah, that's just the nature of the game. So, you know, whatever I can do to help some of the smaller teams, some of the smaller guys out. I'm going to actually mute myself and hit this with the heat gun. So just, ooh, my computer's got to restart. Remind me tomorrow. Hopefully we don't do that. All right, let me mute myself real quick. Okay, hopefully you didn't hear that, because that would have been loud and obnoxious and annoying. But yeah, you use the decal setting solution to soften them up and then contour them around like the hood pins. Man, it's going to be hard to see. You can kind of see it when the light hits it. Yeah, right there. There's a hood pin. There's a hood pin. So the heat helps set them in place too, and kind of relax the decal into position. So this this particular design or graphic was really funny because the file that I got was close, but it didn't have the right amount of stars. It didn't have the right, like, these white lines in it. Well, let me get it closer. It didn't have these white lines in the red, and it didn't have the shiny white fade underneath the white lines. So I basically redesigned this whole thing. So it turned out great. It looks fantastic, but that was just another thing. And the cool thing, I guess, again, going back to the top 5 at Indy, the cool thing about that is he runs the same paint scheme pretty much every week. So with that being said, if I design a decal sheet for Indy, or for Pocono, this one's for Pocono, and he runs it at Indy, which they did, I only had to change like this right here, this rear quarter panel decal. That's different. They had a special decal here on the Pocono car that they switched it out. There was a different one on the Indy car, Indianapolis car. And then this B post, this black area right here, there were different decals on the Indy car versus the Pocono car. So it's really nice that I get to reuse this sheet and just make minor changes to it, so I can easily and quickly go from one car to the next. Now, if they get more top 5s in the year, I don't know if he's going to want all of the cars. But it would be pretty cool if he does make the playoffs, which I hate the playoff system. I hate the point system. That's a long discussion for another day. But if he does, and they get those playoff banners and playoff markings on the car, it would be cool to add those to the sheet as well. Another difference about the Pocono car versus the Indianapolis car is this one here, being the Pocono car, has a black spoiler on the back of it. The Indianapolis car has a white spoiler. So again, a little tiny bit of difference, but nothing drastic. So it'll stand out in the collection. My whole thing is I want to make the cars look as close to race day as I can. And that is the only thing I don't really typically add are tire decals, because that changes a lot during the race. So I generally like to leave the tire decal or the tires vacant of any extra decals. So they would just typically look like this, just with your standard Goodyears on them. Now for this, I do have to paint the lug nuts and the center hub, and I'll get around to doing that before I ship this car out. Actually, no, I'm not shipping this car out. Fun fact, I'm going to Watkins Glen in, what is it, 2 weeks? I think it's like 2 weeks for the race, and my intention is to take this car to the pit crew member personally. I am going to try and take it to him and hand deliver it, which would be a really, really cool experience, because I've never, I very rarely get to go behind the scenes of a race. So I'm kind of looking forward to that a ton. So let's see, order of operation here. Yeah, we could do this one. Again, like I said earlier, I don't know this car that well. This is the first time I've ever made this one. So I'm trying to make sure that I get the order of operation when placing all the decals on it correct, so I don't have to peel any off. Piece of hair stuck in that decal. So again, as I mentioned before, driver's side has the Z, passenger side has the X. Very neat, unique feature of this 39 paint scheme that Ryan Sieg drives in the Xfinity series. Let's see here. We can put this on. And again, as I mentioned before, I have to cut all of these decals out because I didn't do it prior to starting the stream because I was getting ready and I got home from work a little bit later. So I didn't quite have time to do that, but that's okay. We're here now, and we'll knock it out. The one problem that I have that I don't like is the lighting situation. Like if I... Ford GT. Hello, 2005 Ford GT. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. I hope you are well this evening. Good to see you. I hope you find this tutorial to be useful or enjoyable. If you just joined, I give you a quick recap of kind of the history behind this car. If you're interested, I can definitely do that. Just let me know, and I'll go back and talk about why we're doing this and what it's for. Well, I guess I can anyway. Assuming you just joined. Alright, so this car is Ryan Sieg's Xfinity car. I know a member of the pit crew, and every time the team gets a top 5, he wants a diecast made. So 2022, he worked for, I think it was JD Motorsports in the Xfinity series, and they got a top 5 or a top 10 at the time at Daytona in the number 6 car for Ryan Vargas, and I made that car for my personal collection because it had my name on it. Out of the Groove did like a, I don't even know what you call it. It wasn't a sweepstakes. It was, you basically just paid the money and got your name on the car. But anyway, so I got my name on that car, and he got a top 10, and I made it for the driver, Ryan Vargas, sent it to him, and my friend saw that, and he's like, I want one. So I made that car for him. Then he made another one, or then he got another top 10, and he wanted that car. And then this year, he's on the 39 team, and every time they get a top 5, he wants one of their, a diecast. So this is the second one that I've made him this year. This is the Pocono car. Earlier, they finished 4th at Phoenix, and I made him that car. And then this past weekend, they finished 5th at Indianapolis, so I'll be making him that car as well. So it's a neat little thing. I'm going to try and hand deliver this to him in Watkins Glen in a few weeks. I'll be going to that race, my first time at Watkins Glen. And I've never made this particular SIAPS car before. So I'm pretty excited about it because this is the first time that I've really seen anybody try and take on this particular paint scheme. There's a few custom makers out there that I've seen. They make from the Patos decals, and Patos decals are okay. They don't always fit the cars properly. Something I've personally dealt with. I've dealt with them. I have no ill will towards them. I don't have anything really bad to say other than the decals don't always fit the cars perfectly. And that's, that's just the nature of the game sometimes. But for this one, I designed these decals. My friend sent me the file that had the design on them, and I kind of took that and made it into what would fit on this car. So everything on this car I made specifically to fit the Xfinity Series diecast body. And so far, I don't want to get ahead of myself, like I said earlier, because I know things can go wrong when making these cars, but so far everything has fit very, very nicely. And obviously I'm gonna praise myself for making the decal sheet, but to this point I'm really, really happy with the way that it's turning out. So yeah, that's the semi-short, semi-long version story behind this car. And I feel like Ryan Sieg doesn't get the credit. I've never seen Lionel produce a Ryan Sieg car. I don't think they have. So that's just another layer of intrigue about it. Because it's unfortunate that, thank you, I appreciate that, that Lionel has kind of monopolized the market. And if they don't make a car for your favorite driver, then you're not going to get it, other than, going this route. So gone are the days of you had Racing Champions, and you had Motorsports Authentics, you had Action, you had Hot Wheels, you had what were some other ones? I feel like I'm missing. Oh, Team Caliber. You had Team Caliber. That was another one that made diecast. You had it was the diecast industry was diversified, so that if one manufacturer didn't make a specific car that you were wanting or looking for, or a driver or a paint scheme, then you could maybe find it in another one. Now, the one issue with having multiple different manufacturers make the diecast was the body styles were not uniform, and that was kind of annoying and frustrating. But you had the option to get paint schemes that you might not otherwise get if only one manufacturer was making the cars, and that's what we run into today. And actually, Lionel just commented on somebody's post on their forum about, I don't remember what team it was. I think it was a Truck Series team. I don't remember. But they basically said they've been trying to get approvals from the team to make a truck. I want to say it was a truck. They've been trying to get them for a year, and they aren't getting anywhere with them. And they said it's really disappointing because if the team doesn't want it and the driver doesn't want it, they're really not going to make it unless there's a huge, huge, huge demand from the fan base. And unfortunately, that's just not how the diecast world works anymore. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty unfortunate when a team and a driver says, we don't really care if the car is made, because, I mean, if we're in the diecast world, or honestly in the NASCAR world just in general, they're the diecast are basically the jerseys of the drivers. So like in soccer, if your favorite player is Lionel Messi, you're gonna buy a Messi jersey. You might buy an Argentina jersey because it's the country that he plays for, Barcelona or Miami or whatever. But more than likely, you're gonna buy a Messi jersey because you like him. Well, if Ryan Sieg or Jeff Gordon or pick a driver, Ross Chastain, whoever it is your favorite driver, yeah, you can get hats and t-shirts and stuff. But having the diecast car is like the closest thing you get to the jersey. And if it's not made, like, I don't know, it's pretty disappointing. And even like, I don't even know. When Lionel, here's the thing though, the crazy dichotomy of it all is when Lionel purchased Motorsports Authentics and became the sole producer of diecast in like 2010 or 2011, I was pretty excited. I'm sure a lot of people were too, because now all of the cars were going to be uniform. And Lionel, having a very long history of making really high quality trains, we thought, cool, now it's going to translate into the diecast world and they're going to do really great things. And they have done a lot of really cool things, and I'm not necessarily dogging them, but it's just, when you monopolize an industry, not everybody's cars are going to get made and not everybody's going to be happy. So that's why I'm happy to help out, some of the smaller teams and make some cars for them and get to know them a little bit more. Because honestly, like, that's kind of a big part of NASCAR. Ironically, oxymoron is the small teams are a big part of NASCAR. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. And then this is just kind of a hobby that I picked up. I started doing 164 cars back in 2011. 2010, 2011 was like the first time I started working on the small cars, and it's gradually worked its way up into the big cars, and I pretty much do exclusively big cars now. That's a lot of hearts in the chat. But yeah, I pretty much do exclusively big cars. I don't really work on too many 164s anymore. Although I did make this for Mr. Michael Roots. Hopefully he's not watching. This is supposed to be a surprise. It's Mark Martin's 2005 All-Star win with the star confetti on it. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat, pretty unique. I'm gonna send it to him. If you're a friend of Mr. Roots, don't tell him. It's a surprise for him. But this diecast thing has gotten me to interact with some pretty neat people over the past year or so, especially since I made the YouTube channel and kind of we speak fish. Yeah, so I made the We Speak Fish car. That was 2011. We won't tell him. All right, sounds good. I'll send it to him in probably later this week, and because it's done, it's all back together, and there's nothing left I have to do to it other than box it up and send it his way. But yeah, so I'm gonna send that to him, and hopefully he likes it. I'm sure he will. He'll be surprised. It's because he's doing that Mark Martin playthrough on the, what is it, NASCAR Thunder 03 or something. I played a little bit of NASCAR video games growing up, but not as much as a lot of people. So I started, my first game was 06 Total Team Control, and then I had pretty much every game after that. So 09, or actually I don't think I had 07. I think what I did was I got it for the PSP because I had the old PlayStation Portable back in the day. That was fun times. But yeah, I had NASCAR for that. Then I had 09, I think was the next one I had. Then Inside Line, or 2011. Yeah, maybe it was Inside Line, 2011 the game. I don't know, then 14 or 15. I still have them all. But yeah, it's it's funny watching him play all those old NASCAR games and seeing all the old paint schemes and stuff. Brings back a lot of good memories. I just want to say though, I love this car. This paint scheme is underrated. It's one of the coolest ones in the Xfinity garage. My opinion, I know my opinion's not like super important, but I think, especially after working on it so closely and getting into the nitty-gritty details of it, I really like it. So then, Mr. Ford GT, are you a Roots follower then, I'm assuming? Do you watch his stuff as well? He's a funny guy. Actually, my first video on my channel might be a car that I made for him. I think. I made him, yeah, me too. He's funny. I like him, he's nice. I think that my first video on this channel was the 2008 Jimmy Johnson car. I think it was a Nationwide Series car that I made for him. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Do you think I should do a time-lapse edit of all of this when I make the video? Because I'm undoubtedly going to make a video like a stylized one like I typically do when I finish these cars and send them out. So maybe I'll do a time-lapse if I can get enough like good. See, my problem is I'm not really good at my spatial recognition when working on these cars because I have to work on it pretty close to me. So I don't know. I guess it doesn't look too bad. Do you guys have any suggestions to change, like, should I change the camera angle or keep it kind of how it is? Move it up, move it down, put it on more of an angle? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out. Also, when I focus on something, like trying to get this decal straight and about the same distance in the middle. You like this angle? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a little bit different, straight down. I feel like this is how a lot of hobby videos are on YouTube. Either that or coming like down from almost over the shoulder angle. But I'm just trying to give you guys the best angle to do this, because I guess I could wear like a I could wear like a GoPro or something. Looks good. Cool. Thanks. Like I could have it on my face where I'm like looking like right down at the car, but that might make you guys motion sick because my head moves around a lot when I'm working on these things. So yeah, glad you guys are here. This is kind of fun, right? This is this decal here. I forget what the font name was, but I had to. Ooh, where are we? Focus. Yeah, this goes on here, so we'll just set that to the side. Now I do have these. So front windshield and then back windshield. So we'll put those on the car in a little bit. I don't know how late I'll go tonight. Typically I try to keep it definitely under 2 hours. And we've only been live for 45 minutes, and we've made some pretty decent progress on this car. I'm a little hesitant to do the big door decals live just in case something goes wrong with them. So I'm trying to kind of get everything else done that I can. Maybe save it for last in case I have to just end the stream and go rescue the decals. But what I will say, with the way that they went on for the underlay, I don't want to say it, but I'm pretty confident that it'll be okay. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we will do it on stream. I am going to do the main hood decal last, because I think I put the I put this clip on upside down so the hood opens a little bit more freely than I would want it to. And simply because I have to cut the decal on either side of the hood, and I don't want to get into that while I still have other decals to apply to the car. So again, here are the windshield decals, front and back. And actually, yeah, while we're here, we might as well just cut these. Here are the side window decals that Ford's been running this past year. I don't really know why they do. Actually, Chevy and Toyota, I'm pretty sure everybody runs these. They're all just shaped a little bit differently. But yeah, so it'll go over top this window decal. And then everywhere else that it doesn't cover gets painted in black. So I'll just paint that after the fact. So again, a little behind the scenes. Yeah, I can't really do the nose until we do the side decals. I can't do that one until we do the side decals. So should we just go for it? I'll be really sad if it messes up. You know what, let's put these on. So I don't know what these things are. These little like laser guns. But those are part of the SciAps thing. I found them on their website. So I don't really know what they are or what their function is. But it looks like a little laser gun or something. So I think one is the X series and one is the Z series, and that's why there's a big X and a big Z on either side of the car. I think that's how it goes. If you guys know more than I know, feel free to put it in the chat. I'm more than willing to learn a little bit today on this live stream. But yeah, so like I said, this car I'm going to be taking to Watkins Glen here in a couple weeks. So I was pretty impressed with the turnaround time to get the decals shipped to the house, printed and shipped to the house, so that I could work on the car. I don't feel rushed trying to get this one done. There have definitely been other cars in the past that I've taken and given to people that I have been absolutely rushed to get done. And this one, not that I'm taking my time, but I am. But I don't feel rushed at all to get this car done. So I'm super happy that I was able to get a little bit of a jump on it and kind of get going before crunch time happened. And like I said, I still have Watkins Glen, I think, is the 10th. I think we're leaving on that either Thursday or Friday. I think we might be leaving on Friday, so what would be that? 10th, 9th, 8th. So I still have a little bit of time to get this thing done, and if the decals are done tonight, I'll probably clear it over the weekend and then put it together next week. And it probably, you know what, I'll probably have it out as my video for next Friday. Or maybe I'll save it for the Friday after. We could get the reaction of my friend if he wants to be on camera and all that, if he cares to be. Some people, I'm not gonna put him on camera or anything if he doesn't want to be. I totally understand that. Let's see here. All right. I gotta look something up. I gotta make sure there's one thing that I'm not 100% sure. Bear with me here, please, for a second. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right. Just gonna use my best judgment. If this decal's in the wrong spot, I'm gonna be upset. I can always change it later, so I'll just put it here. In the past, when I've made these cars, this 39 decal went on the flat on the bottom part of the bumper, and I'm 99% sure that this is how it goes on this car as well. So I just want to make sure that that's right. Actually, let me pull up my phone really quick, because I think I have a reference picture on there. Yep, see? So we want to make sure we get that right. We don't want to mess that up. Even though it's the back of the car, I don't want to get that wrong. I don't want to get any details wrong when working on these things. And so that's why we check all the reference pictures before finalizing the decals on the car. So we'll add this little whatever kind of laser gun or something, whatever these things are on this side. Here's an interesting thing I just noticed that I have zero control over. I'll get to it in a second here. I just got to make sure this is oriented properly. The bottom handle of this gun kind of goes past the bottom of the fender, and the back of it goes a little bit onto the Z. Yeah, that looks good. One thing I just noticed while looking at the reference picture for this is the fuel inlet on the real cars is a little bit further forward than what's on the diecast. I have no control over that, so I'm not really going to worry about it. It does annoy me slightly. So like when I cut this out here, maybe I shouldn't do this. We'll do it anyway. What the heck? It's a sharp blade. It's a brand new blade. On the real car, this fuel inlet is slid forward, so it actually cuts out the Z more forward, and on the diecast it's pushed backwards. So nothing I can really do about that, aside from filling this whole fuel inlet with like JB Weld or something, and then drilling a new hole. And I've done that before, only for Watkins Glen cars, where they put the car on the opposite side. I have done that, but it's quite a big undertaking to do all that. Yeah, so, and it goes over the top a little bit too much, so that's all right. I'll clean that up later. It's not entirely surprising that it's different, but it's a little disappointing. All right, so we'll switch over to the passenger side here. Hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you for joining. I appreciate the comments and spending your evening with me. Could be doing anything else, but here we are decaling a Ryan Sieg Pocono top 5 car for a member of the pit crew. So it's pretty cool. It's a neat little, like I said, it's a neat little hobby. I get to meet some really cool people along the way and have fun doing it. So we'll put this little gun over here. On this side, it's just in front of the X, and just same thing as the driver's side, the handle kind of wraps around the bottom of the fender. I don't know if you guys know who Bob Ross is, but sometimes I feel like Bob Ross when I'm working on these things. It's just a happy little contour around the body of the car. I don't know, that might only be funny to me, but sometimes that's how I feel. Like a little bit of Bob Ross. I've also had like a splitting headache for like the last day and a half, so it's been fun. So thanks for sticking with me while I drink all this water, trying to stay hydrated. Alright, so let's... Oh, another trademark of all of the cars that I make. So on the decal sheets, when I create them, I have the name of the car that I'm making, what number set. So this is number 15. This is the 15th set that I've made. And then I have my logo. I have it on both sides. That side and that side. And what I'll do is I'll take those logo decals and I'll stick them on the underside of the hood. So it's just a little thing. You're never gonna see it unless you open the hood, of course, obviously. And it's just a neat little thing for me to kind of add a personal touch to the cars. And I also make, let's see, where are these? I do make these as well. So if you're lucky enough to receive one of a custom car from me, you'll get this one of one diecast driven placard. Nothing special, but yeah, just cool, neat little things to go with the cars. So when we get this piece here in a second, these rivets on the side. So again, attention to detail. All of these rivets are the same number of rivets that are on the actual side skirt of the car. This exhaust plate is pretty much exactly to scale. Everything on here is as exact as I could get it. I combed over this car for hours trying to get it exact. And hopefully I did. Hopefully it's up to the standards that I set. Only the best. Only the best. I still haven't decided if I want to make any of these decals available for purchase. I don't really know how to go about doing that. I'll have to talk to the guy that prints them, because there is something kind of unique or nice about having exclusivity for them, but also at the same time, like, if other people want to make these cars, like Ryan Sieg he's a medium popular driver, and not a single one of his cars have ever been made, to my knowledge. I did a little bit of research. To my knowledge, not a single one of his cars ever been made. So it would be nice to, if you're a Ryan Sieg fan, to make one of your own cars. Now the hard part is anybody else, are there a lot of people out there that are going to want to sit and do this for hours on end? Probably not, to put this much quality into the diecast, but maybe I'm the only crazy person. But yeah, so this one's the moment of truth. This one will change the entire complexion of the car, and I'm really looking forward to it. I very much hope that it fits properly. I pretty much had to redesign this entire sheet as well myself, or this particular side. I had to the whole car. I pretty much took the file that I was given and combed over it and made it as close to the real thing as I could. I redrew a lot of the lines, and I changed a lot of the placements of the decals to match the real car. If I was better at streaming, I could pull a picture of the real car up and show you guys, but I don't know, you're just gonna have to go to the old Google and type in Ryan Sieg Pocono 2025. You'll see what I'm talking about. Like I said, I think I've gotten it pretty close. Nothing is ever perfect, and I have a hard time with that, because I try to make these things as perfect as I possibly can. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but we'll see. We'll see. Stay tuned for when we put these big door pieces on, because that is, like, as you can see now, like, that will change the entire complexion of the car. So, and obviously I put a white decal on to add an extra layer of opaqueness, because these decals are printed on a white layer, so they are pretty opaque themselves, but the biggest problem is when you have a transition line of color. getting that not to bleed through onto the, you know, the top side of the decals. And that's something that, I mean, pretty much everybody that makes a multicolor car fights with, because it's, I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's next to impossible to get your paint lines to match up exactly with your decal lines. So I'm really hoping that a double layer of white will kind of hide that. Not to mention, this is a pretty complex, design, so there's a lot of shapes that'll pull your eyes away from any potential bleed through from underneath. So fingers crossed on that. I hope you guys are ready, because this might be the end of the stream. If this doesn't go well, we're calling it, and I'm gonna have to fight with it off stream. But we'll see. We'll see. I printed so many test sheets to get these to line up as best that I could. These side sheets, typically I don't like to do this where I put all of the decals on at once. Typically I like to place them very specifically myself, but for this instance everything was very specifically located on the car with the lines and the angles and where everything went. I had to do it all in one shot. So hopefully that it turns out good. We're gonna get into it here in a second. Oop, I hit the camera with my head. See, we don't have the highest production quality. We have like negative production quality around here. It's not very good, but it's honest. So yeah, there we go. I've said it a couple times this stream, I really like this paint scheme. It's very much growing on me. The more that I work on it and the more that I get into it. It's not like an iconic paint scheme like a Jeff Gordon DuPont Flame or Rainbow car, but it's growing on me. Red is my favorite color, and well, between red and yellow, those are my two favorite colors. And something about black and white, they're just simple, you know, it's nothing fancy. So black, white, and red, I like, it's a cool color combination. It really flows together. And then there's a little bit of blue. There's just a few hints of blue. Yep, I do like blue as well. Not my favorite, but like with this car, there's a few hints of blue on it, which are nice to kind of like round off the paint scheme. So the moment of truth here, everybody. Getting this to line up perfectly on the underlay is difficult. Hopefully it lines up pretty well. Now, if I'm not talking, apologies, but I gotta focus on this one. Not that I'm that entertaining to begin with. I mean, let's be honest here. You guys don't tune in to listen to me. You tune in to watch this beautiful diecast come to life. Or at least that's why I would tune in anyway. Oh, nice. Okay. Ooh, that's perfect. See where that front rivet is? That front rivet, like right at the front of at the side skirt. That's like, oh boys, we're looking good. We're looking good. Oh, train's going by. Hello, train o'clock. In case you guys can hear that. I don't know if you can. I don't know how far the microphone picks up. If you heard the train in the chat, let me know. If not, never mind. Ooh, that's nice. That's a cool car. I like this car. Again, big fan of the paint scheme. Maybe part of it is that it's never been made before. That's possibly part of it. But yeah, this. Oh man, I shouldn't say anything, but it's going well. It's all going well. So, Mr. Ford GT, is blue your favorite color, or do you just like blue? Because I like a lot of colors, but my favorites are red and yellow. If you're still here, if you're still watching. Nice, and then see how that black line just kisses that under the headlight, just creates a, oh man, that's clean. Of course it's gonna get covered up by the headlight. Whoa, look at this guy coming into the chat. Dude, your car's like half done already. I don't wanna out you as the one, but this thing is sweet. I really like this car. I'm kind of jealous that I'm making it for you and not for myself. But yeah. Hopefully you get a top 5 at Watkins Glen, because then I might make that car for myself, since I'll see it in person. But yeah, so what am I doing? Hold on. That's better. It's looking good. Thank you. You need a cloning device. A cloning device of like me. I wish there were more of, well, sometimes I wish there were more of me. Sometimes the world doesn't need more of me. If you're talking about a cloning device to make more diecast, yes, I agree. It would be a lot of fun to make a lot of cars. And I don't have a lot of time as it is to make what I make. So it's, as you can see my streaming schedule, it's all over the place. It is not standard. Yeah, so, oh man, that looks beautiful. That is so cool. I love this car. Yeah, I have a ton of cars that I still have to make for Cody that I haven't got around to because they're all 164 cars and I've kind of freaked myself out with them. I have to make 50 of them and I'm just kind of dreading it secretly. Now, not so secretly, because it's so many cars. And I need to get around to doing those. And I feel bad because I haven't. But again, I have quite a few other projects that I'm trying to get done. And if the 39 team would quit getting top 5s this year, I wouldn't be making so many so many of these cars. Again, getting another top 5 at Indy last week, so that was really cool. But yeah, this paint scheme is awesome. Yeah, I have kind of been procrastinating it a little bit. I've been hey, yeah, I'm not blaming you guys, but you've been running pretty well. You've had your share of bad luck. There have been a few races where you guys, like, not of your own doing, nothing you could have done, just like super random bad luck. There have been plenty of races like that, but when you guys don't have bad luck, you're running well. You're a top 5, top 10 car every single week, especially just like purely on speed. So I'm not blaming you directly for, you know, not making me get my other cars done, but if I wasn't going to Watkins Glen this week or next week to bring this car to the track, I mean, it'd be a little bit of a different story. So, but no complaints from me. No complaints from me. But yeah, this 39 car has turned out awesome. I'm super glad that you guys are here, enjoying the stream, getting to see this greatness unfold. It's a fantastic car. And it ran well, so that always helps. But one of the things that I don't like is cutting these decals around the contours of the bodies. I'll go clean them up later. Just for right now, I give them a lot of little slits just so I can wrap them around and make sure that they stick to the body and don't come back up. Again, with the decal setting solution, it helps with that. But yeah, So, well, we got one more thing to do up here. The front wheel well cut out. It's kind of the same thing. Let me just make sure that this is down. Another interesting thing about this car that's kind of unique is they only have the Ford Performance logo or decal on this right front fender instead of having them both on the left front and right front. Not entirely sure why. Maybe that's a team thing. Maybe it was overlooked or something. I don't really know, but it's just another unique thing that I like to add. Yeah. So I don't like I said earlier, I'm not good at this whole streaming thing, so I can't just like pull an image onto the screen. But in the reference pictures, everything that I could find, you only have the Ford Performance logo on this right front fender. There's not one over here. So, I mean, I'm looking at a reference picture right now on my right hand side over here, and it's just so funny. I love the little nuances of those decals, or those like random things about cars. So, yeah, it's funny. I'm glad I can. Yeah, don't tell anybody if you were supposed to like put it on the car and now I get in trouble. I won't tell anybody, but it'll be a unique part of your diecast that you'll have forever to remember it. So there's passenger side. Oh, I'm still not done. We got one more thing. See, what would be cool if I were on the race team, I would be putting like little random stickers all over the cars in the hopes that like if the diecast ever does get produced, then that random sticker would also be. Can you get some of those cars that I want to put in order in black Sabbath? Actually, I'm pretty sure it's Dayglow Red. Should see our Daytona roof number. Dayglow Red. Like the Dayglow, like the Jeff Gordon Dayglow color. Of all the cars I have, like I don't. Oh yeah, hold on. Like this. I can't reach it. I'm stuck in my spot. But like the flame nose of the flame car, that color red. Like the number. Oh, the Red Bull cars. I love those cars with that number on top. I feel like I have seen it. Hopefully you guys can get a top 5 at Daytona, because that would be a fun one. The only thing is I don't know how well the decal could print it. So the only thing I could think is maybe I could print or like stencil it and then paint it on. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, there's the passenger side. Compare that to the driver's side. I mean, obviously night and day. To your point about the Aussie car, I'm fairly certain that there are decals available for an Aussie car that never ran from like the early 2000s. It was like Ozfest or something. Again, if I could figure out how to stream well, I could pull it over and look at it. But I'm pretty sure if you go on Printed Decals website, there's a sheet available for that. I could make it. I don't have the time to make more cars. Unfortunately, I could put it on the list. But getting back to the the No Bull 5s, like that color combination on those cars was really cool. It was so different. Obviously, being a Jeff Gordon fan, like I liked the 24, but having it on any and all of the other cars was really cool. It's like when the Cup Series has the postseason, the playoffs, which not a fan, haven't been a fan since 04 when they changed it, but at least now they put the yellow banners on the windshield, or for like the Xfinity Series, I think they have red banners and the Truck Series blue, or maybe that's inverse. Maybe the Xfinity's blue and Trucks are red. I don't know, whatever it is. At least for something like that, it's really neat that it differentiates the cars on track. I really liked when they did that in the Cup Series. if you go back and look at like one of the first shorts that I made for this channel, I have all of the Jeff Gordon cars from his 2015 season that he was in the chase, because he made it all the way to Homestead, and so I have all 10 cars. I did a little customization, obviously. They didn't make them all like that, so I had to use a few of my skills, but I really like when there's highly, highly contrasting colors on a race car. Like, for example, Jeff Gordon's 2004 Pepsi Talladega car that he beat Dale Jr. in. The whole controversy of, was the caution out, was Gordon ahead at the time of caution, all that stuff. It was the Pepsi Shards car. I don't remember that race like super vividly, but I do remember it. And they used bright neon yellow tape to tape up I think the spoiler was bright yellow. The nose, the grill tape was bright yellow, and it was this blue, like a dark blue car. Dark blue. It had a bunch of different blues on it. It was like dark blue, light blue, medium blue, and this bright yellow tape that was just a huge contrast. It was so cool. That's one of my favorite cars in my collection. Yeah, and on top of it being a really cool looking car, the raced version diecast has so much damage on it. It's got all the tire marks on the side and is a real dirty car, so it just makes for a really, really cool diecast to have in anybody's collection. Of course I have it. Jeff Gordon fan for 20 plus years. Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorites. Highly overlooked. Those elites from the mid 2000s had a ton of detail in them, and I miss those days of detail. These Xfinity cars are, they don't have a ton of detail in them as far as like body and chassis and all that go, but I can do what I can do with the decal sheets and make them as close to the actual race car as possible. And that's what we're trying to do here. Oh, by the way, I really like the white side skirts on this car too. Yo, what's up? Deline. English might be my first language, but it is not a strong suit of mine. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Also, I think Gordon... Bro, we forgot the Ford Performance on the driver's side. Yeah. Did you just go and check your pictures? That's funny. See, I notice things like that. So, Mr. C. Deline, did I get your name totally wrong? Ain't no way. Oh. Okay. Well, hello then. Yeah, so I haven't gotten to it yet, but the Ford Performance logo, this one here. Cameron, okay. Welcome into the channel. I hope you enjoy your time here. We're making the 39 car from, well, your 39 car from Pocono that you guys got top 5. But yeah, this Ford Performance logo, you didn't put it on the driver's side. So there's only one of them. Kind of funny. A very unique thing about this car. Well, you guys were busy. It's race weekend. You don't think about putting all the decals on the car. Oh no. No fights. You can't fight in my chat. But I'm glad you're here. That's funny. I'm assuming you obviously recognize this car then. And you guys just ran it at Indy. Who are the decal people? Who are the people that wrap the cars? because I've always wanted to wrap a real car. That's been like, I've made, I don't know, probably thousands of 164s and 124s. A dream of mine has been to wrap a real race car. Will I ever get to do that? Probably not, but that's been like kind of a dream of mine. Maybe when I come to Watkins Glen, I could put a sticker on the car or something. Am I allowed to do that? Oh, duh, I know that. That's a good point, because the decal's right there. Ray City Wraps. I don't know how well you can see it. It's that one. I knew that. Tell them they forgot to put the Ford Performance logo on the right or left front fender. Actually, don't tell them that. Don't get them in trouble. We don't want to out anybody. You guys just took over the chat for a second. That was fun. I felt like a real streamer there for a second. Normally the chat doesn't move too fast. We don't get a ton of people watching the channel, but we're working on it. It's a slow burn. If you guys are new here, the whole point of this channel originally was to just document all of my diecast collection. And so if you kind of go back and like look at all the videos and stuff that I've put out, most of the channel is me just posting videos of cars in my collection, and it was a way of documenting and kind of keeping track of all the cars that I had or have. And then it kind of, I mean, it still is that, and that still is the primary focus of the channel, but now I have the, you know, I've been going live where I'm decaling cars and making cars for other people and stuff like that. So it's still mostly a channel just to show off my collection on one hand and to document it on the other, but also now getting into like customs and live streaming and hanging out with people in the chat and stuff. It's fun. Personally, I like this a little bit more. It is still kind of weird. I am just in my basement hanging out, talking to myself, but I do like this better than doing all of the editing. Editing's the worst for all the videos. So if you guys know anybody that is an editor, no, I'm just kidding. This channel's not big enough to hire an editor. I don't have that kind of financial acuity. But yeah, so what you guys see here, all of this, these cuts, like it looks really ugly from the underside of the car. I'll go and clean that up later. So before this diecast makes it to the customer, I will have that all cleaned up and it'll be looking very nice. Streaming, it's pretty easy, honestly, compared to editing and doing all that. I don't hate it. It's definitely a lot easier when you guys are in the chat. I will say that. So there have been some streams where there haven't been many people watching, or even if there are a few people watching and nobody's really interacting in the chat, it's sometimes hard for me to just kind of talk and ramble on about stuff. But yeah, I mean, look at that. That's a NASCAR. So yeah, but when you guys are in the chat, it's a lot easier to interact and kind of play off back and forth. Yeah, it happens. And I haven't streamed a lot. This is probably, I don't know, maybe my 10th or something. But what did you used to stream, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, hey, that happens. That happens sometimes. You just gotta ask yourself a question. All right, let's put the quarter panel decals on. I do watch a lot of streamers. That's kind of like the new media these days, is just watching streamers instead of watching TV. secured environmental group. Used to stream Fortnite and COD. My buddy just started streaming COD. We played a lot, like from when the whole pandemic thing happened and everybody was locked in, all that fun stuff. We talked about it. We're like, oh, we should stream, because we played every night. Like Warzone was basically what we did from when we got done with work till 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And back then we were like, yeah, we should stream. It'd be fun. It'd be easy. And we never did. And he just started streaming, like, I don't know. Viewership has doubled. I believe 12 people now. That's crazy. Okay, down to 8. Yeah, my end says 10. So even still though, that's really cool that at least 10 of you guys are here hanging out with me, sharing this diecast build together with me. This is fun. I mean, this is, if I wasn't streaming, I would just be watching somebody stream or listening to music while I do this. So I've said it plenty of times, I'd rather just share it with you guys, and again, you get to see a little bit of behind the scenes action here. And then, like I said, when this car is completely done, I'll definitely be putting a video of it up on the channel. Maybe I'll do it after Watkins Glen, because I will maybe I'll take a video of Mr. Robert receiving the car. I always like to see the reactions of the people when I make them for anybody. That's honestly, that's my favorite part. Like turning a completely black and white car into this really, really cool, almost complete diecast is a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, and I really like doing it. But a lot of it is the reaction of people when they get them. I really like seeing that and how much they appreciate the cars and stuff, especially for something like this, because there has never been a 39 diecast made, to my knowledge. I'm not gonna say I'm an expert, but I did a little bit of research. But yeah, the whole streaming thing, he just started streaming COD, and I mean, I haven't really been playing a whole lot lately because I've been busy, clearly, working on cars and life and other things. So it's a good problem to have. I think I am only gonna go for another half hour though. Like I said, I try to keep these things under 2 hours long. Correct. CMR was the only one offered DMP'd. Was it you that made? I did make the Phoenix backup car. Yes, that was mine. I have another decal set available. Just saying. Here it is. So, just saying, I do have another next weekend. I definitely can't, I can't get it for you next weekend, but maybe you could take Robert's and I'll remake his or something. I do have a question about that car though. I saw it on, somebody on Twitter posted that car, and I'm like 99% sure that it's the one I made. So I'm wondering if, Robert, did you send it to a guy to get custom race version markings on? I mean, I don't really care if you did. It doesn't bother me, but I just saw it and it was super random, and I was like, that's gotta be my car. So I'm kind of interested to hear your response, because I have a feeling that it is, but yeah, it was just kind of funny. I did. Okay, yeah, I figured that was the case. I messaged him today. I'm like, dude, where did you get those decals? And he's like, I didn't make it. I'm like, I know, I think I made it. so I was wondering that, yeah. And I think I got the I think I got the race version markings pretty close for decals, so the next one I make, I'll put them on there as well. It looked good. I'm not gonna lie, it did look pretty good. I'm assuming he just used like paintbrush and painted all of the markings and stuff on it. Yeah, I saw that. It was pretty cool. Yeah, so maybe if Cameron wants that other one, I could make it for him if he's interested. Maybe for his birthday for next year or Christmas. Christmas is coming up in a couple months. I might be able to get it done by then. You guys just got to stop getting top fives because I can't keep making all these cars. Like I'm on the hook for the Indianapolis car. But if you want the Phoenix backup car, I could work it into the schedule. And this one will have raced version damage. Standard from the box. Gonna be Iowa next to. Jeez. Yeah, I told Robert we're gonna have to change the criteria to top threes because I don't know how many of these cars he's gonna run out of room in his house. You're gonna have so many cars, you're not gonna know what to do with them all. Which again, good problem to have. My whole room is just diecast. So do you collect them as well then? I don't know how new you are to the channel here. But if you are in some of if you're new here and you haven't looked at the like my main channel page yet, I finished my basement, and after like 20 plus years of collecting diecast, I finally got them all up. It's a lot. It's a lot of cars, and I don't have many customs. I've seen around blinds. It's not that great. Kyle Sieg, Daytona Night, throwback. Okay. Well, yeah, you know, I hate to sign up for more. F1 shelf is just right. See, that's pretty cool. Like I said, I hate to sign up for more, but if there's ever one that you're looking for that you really want, I mean, we could definitely work something out, I'm sure. You'll have to fight Robert for build time. I'm not signing up for anything technically. I'm just saying it's a possibility in the future. Possibly. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, go check that video out. That's not just me being like weird streamer. Like, I finally, after so many years of collecting cars, I finally was able to get my basement done and finished, and all of the cars are up. Texas photo finish remade with 2 diecast and a painted display. See, that's cool. Ooh, man, everything that I want to show you is out of reach. So, regarding that painted display, I have a 3D printer, and I have made safer barriers. So I could definitely 3D print you some of those if you're interested in the display. As soon as I get this nose decal on, I'll go get it and show you. That was my first top 2. Okay, nice. Yeah, I was really disappointed that Ryan lost that race. Like, obviously not as much as you guys. You work on the cars and stuff. Like, you're way more involved than I am. But I don't mind JRM and like the big teams, but that was kind of annoying to see that happen. Not to mention, like, it seems like Ryan Sieg's been around for a long time. Diorama made a bunch of cars, plan on eventually 3D printing catch fence and putting caution lights in. See, yeah, I'm kind of working on something similar to that too. I'm working on this, not even in frame. I have I bought the Hendrick Motorsports 123 Martinsville finish from last year with the ruby reds, and I'm working on creating Martinsville front stretch, and so that's what I 3D printed the safer barrier for. And I think I got it pretty close to being 1-to-1. And yeah, so I'm working on that diorama as well. No, I don't know if that question's directed at me, but I'm gonna say no. I think that's directed. I can't remember. The hardest part was holes on the bottom of the car to holes in my windows. Yeah, that's one thing I'm not entirely looking forward to. I know that's gonna be a pain. I kind of have an idea of how I'm gonna achieve that. I kind of figured. But yeah, so that kind of has taken a back seat to all these other projects that I've been working on. Kenma, just started channel on the front page. I've been an NASCAR fan for years. Always been a diecast collector. Do I sell? Not really anymore. I make them very specifically for people. I used to sell them like on eBay years and years and years ago, just as like a mass thing. Any decals I could get my hands on, I would sell them, but I don't really do that anymore. If there's something really specific you have in mind, message me on Twitter, send me a DM. I think they're open. We could always discuss. I don't typically do that anymore, but I'm willing to listen. I have a lot of I have a lot of requests for cars. These two yahoos in the chat, there are two of them. Do you have any, Kenma, do you have any customs that you have or collect? Or anything specific? I need that guy that did your damage to your cake. Yeah, that guy did pretty good with the damage. I do want to give that guy credit. Alright, so there's your nose decals. No, why do you... What race was that he flipped? Can't say I remember that one. All I gotta do is smash. Smash it with a hammer. 2024 Michigan. Michigan last year. I was at Michigan last year. I was there on Sunday. I think I remember that. I think I remember watching that race. None other than made out what I was saying. I'd love to get into making that my personal all my racing done in 124. Okay. Yeah. iRacing car done in 124. Well, if you have the capability to make the decals yourself, since you have the iRacing, I would assume you design the paint scheme yourself and the template and everything. You could probably send it to printed decals and they could make them for you or print them for you. That's where I get mine. You just got to reach out to them and ask them about printing. You just got to make sure your sheets are real clean and all of your images are crisp and everything like that, and size them properly to your diecast. Make sure it's exactly what you want, because I mean, it's not exactly cheap. I mean, I'm sure you're aware that this hobby is it's not a cheap one necessarily, but I do have the patience or scissormanship to do this. That is a word I've never heard before. Scissormanship. Also, though, should make a Harry Potter car. Has there ever been a Harry Potter car? I feel like there's been a lot of Disney cars. My sister really likes Disney, so I've made her a lot of Disney customs for her display. Like the Cars car and other ones like that. Up. I don't think I made Up. Toy Story. I don't think I made that one yet either. But I don't know if anybody's ever... That would be cool. Thank you. I'm just going to have this in the background while racing. Okay. Hey, well, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. I'll check out your channel too. Use iRacing. I remember, so if you guys have been collecting for a while, back in 2011, when Lionel Racing first took over, in each diecast that you would get, there would be an iRacing coupon. And I threw them away. I'm like, I'm not iRacing. I don't like racing inside the car. I like being outside the car. And if I would have got into iRacing back then, I could have been basically William Byron. He went from a computer to winning races, blah, blah, blah. That's got to be one of the most annoying things. Still got to upload clips to the channel. So do you live stream with your channel, or do you just... I was 6 in 2011, dude. 6 in 2011, that's a crazy... Don't even... 2011, I was... Sounds good. 2011. 2011 was my second year of high school. Jeez. Oh, man. I'm getting old. Getting old over here. Well, hold on. You're younger than me. You should definitely have the skills and, as you say, scissormanship to make these cars. If you're younger than me. Sorry. Again, I really gotta focus on getting it out in front of the camera for you guys. Because when I'm focused on these small details, I typically like to pull the car in close. Problem is I can't see. Cut the decal in half. We gotta get some glasses then if you can't see. I'm wearing contacts, so no shame in that. Wow, that is... Nope. I'll redo that one. This has been a fun stream, guys. I'm glad you are here to enjoy and all the shenanigans that have taken place. It's been pretty fun. I hope you guys have had fun tonight. He's blind with his glasses. Sounds like you need a better prescription if you're blind with your glasses. But I'm no optometrist. Alright, there we go. How do you tune the engine if you're blind, though? Probably just do it off of, like, the sound and the vibrations, right? You don't even look at it. Yeah, 50 sounds like far away. It's closer than I think. Can do most of it, so I'm not gonna lie. You know what used to sound really cool? Set idle by sound usually within 10 RPMs. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Xfinity still runs carburetor, don't they? Or are they electronic fuel injection too? I would assume by setting the idle carburetor. Nice. Nice. What do they have in them? Is it a... Do you guys run a 358? Was it a 358 that Cup Series used to run? I don't even know. I don't even know what they run anymore. Speaking of, are you ever going to put the Watkins Glen car on? You should probably... Fuel injection is easy because of this type. Yeah, it's all those stupid engineers, right? all those nerds. Fuel injection. I want to say the Cup Series went to fuel injection in 2011, 2012, something like that. Sometimes I wonder if there's too much data that teams share and that all that with all like the SMI data and stuff that they can see. Alright, so I think I'm gonna do like another 15 minutes or so. Alright, nose looks pretty good. We got the bottom grill to put on. We'll go back over. We'll just do it. We'll do it now. This was a difficult piece for me to make, so I could not find this middle grill piece anywhere with the I don't even know what you call it, the grill shape, honeycomb shape. I couldn't find it anywhere to make it, so it took me a long time to get it. I eventually got around to finding one online. MRN Racing Decal. MRN Racing Decal. Ooh. On this car? I don't know if there's an MRN Racing Decal on this car. At least on the outside of it. Don't inside job. Okay. I'm assuming that's like the Motor Racing Network, like the audio, the broadcast, but I'll let it go. I'll let it go between you guys. Well, it's funny. I guess it's not that funny because I don't get it, but... Oh, you know what? Can't put this one on yet. Can't put this one on yet. We gotta put these little tiny, like side spikes on before we do that. At least the bottom one. I haven't decided yet if I want to put, because I think this one was made for the driver's side, but it might go on the passenger side the way that it's angled. Most of it's not even going to be on the car, it's going to go into the wheel well. Ugh. I gotta figure out this headset. I don't like it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a fun stream. It's like, this is one of my favorite cars that I've built so far, by far. I think within the next couple weeks I'll be making an IndyCar diecast. I don't know if you guys are interested in IndyCar in any capacity, but we went to Mid-Ohio a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if you guys saw the video on the channel, but just a quick recap. Kyle Kirkwood's from Florida, from Jupiter, and that's where my wife grew up when she was a kid. They went to Jupiter pretty much every year to vacation, and so that was like her favorite spot growing up. Her grandparents had like a condo or timeshare or something down there, and so Kyle Kirkwood is from Jupiter, so she's like, that's my favorite driver, because that was like the first time we'd gone to an IndyCar race. And so they didn't have his diecast there, so I bought a 1/18 scale diecast, and you've driven an IndyCar. Yeah, so I bought this, and I 3D printed the wing, the front wing and the back wing. I 3D printed those, and yeah, so I got it all apart right now. I have the decals done. I just have to order them. So I'll probably do a live stream doing that in the coming weeks. But thanks, yeah, it's 1/18 scale, so I had to make all the decals specific to that, and so it's been a fun challenge working on them. But totally out of my comfort zone. Like, these diecasts are all that I know. And then working on an IndyCar was like totally different. What did I start? Like, I didn't mean to pitch you guys against each other. This wasn't how the stream was supposed to go. Also, this is a difficult piece to go on because of the body contour. Like, oh, that's not too bad, really. That decal setting solution helps out a ton. Pretty normal. Alright, well, I guess when I come to Watkins Glen, Cameron, I gotta meet you too, because it sounds like you guys have way too much fun working on a race team. This is everyday me. Well, that's good. I'm assuming you're gonna be at Watkins Glen? Hopefully. We have way too much fun. Unfortunately. Alright, well, don't sound too sad about it, because we'll be there also. I'm looking forward to that. I've never been to that track before. So, this one will get covered up by that main grill decal. It'll go over top of that one. Fun is banned here. See, I don't even need to entertain. We have our own entertainment in the chat. This is great. Now, what would be funny is if you guys, like, were hanging out, typing at each other in the chat instead of in the same room as each other. That would be funny. I doubt that's the case, but you never know. Hello, Shadowheart. Thank you for joining. It does look really cool. I'm super stoked about this car. This is Ryan Sieg's number 39 Pocono top 5 car. And it started as a blank car. And I would say we're probably like 70% done with it. Nah, probably like 80% done. This has been a fun stream. I don't know about you guys, but I've been having a lot of fun interacting with you guys, hanging out. Definitely one of the most fun ones I've had so far. Watching you two go at each other in the chat, it's pretty funny. PG, yeah, I mean, PG-13, it's the internet. Just don't get your... I guess I can ban people. Can I ban people? I don't know. I can. Haha. I could hide this. I could put you in timeout. Who should I put in timeout? No, I won't do that. That would be kind of funny though. Nah, I'm not I'm not banning anybody. I won't do that. But I do hold the power now that I know. So if things get out of hand, I will execute judgment as I see fit. Does this count as like an authorized like work retreat for you two? You guys getting overtime for this? Yeah, like I said, I'm new to this whole live streaming thing, so I didn't know that I have the power. So I'm assuming you don't get overtime at work. Everybody gets overtime. What's that? No? Okay, no overtime. Our week is 90-hour week, no overtime. See, what did I start? What did I start? Overtime is at the end of the race when NASCAR doesn't want to just end the race under yellow and they want to wad up about 30 more cars before they go home and cost the team owners thousands of more dollars instead of just ending the race at the scheduled distance. They want that entertainment value. Alright, I'm off my soapbox. I'm assuming you guys don't like overtime at racing, at the races. 2 hours at Atlanta to wreck half lap. Exactly, that's the kind of stuff I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. I was so gutted watching that race for you guys. I was like, ooh, Ryan, he's looking good. And then, yeah, I think that was the one where he just like, they caught the right rear by like an inch and turned you back into the wall. I think it was that one, if I remember correctly. Yeah, just barely. Yeah, I remember that one. That was disappointing. I mean, if I'm being honest, I watch the Xfinity series more than I watch the Cup series anymore. I hate those kit cars that they have in the Cup series. I don't like them. They don't race good. From a fan's standpoint. I fixed 4 things on that car. Once was awful. Mechanical. You need a mechanical. You need more mechanically inclined people. I'm mechanically inclined, but only in the engineering field. So that's all I am. I like to solve problems. I create a lot of problems, but I also like to solve problems. Oh no, another argument. Daytona tear off. Getting into more lore, more backstory, more history. I'm assuming you guys have fun on this race team. Judging based off of the conversations that are taking place in the chat. Sorry about this. This bad camera angle. Alright, we've hit the 2-hour mark. Should I keep going? It's 10 o'clock. Should we keep going or should we call it there? What do you guys think? Let me know. 20 more minutes. Alright, 20 more minutes. You got it. Let's see what we can get done in that allotted time. Really committed to seeing this car done. In fairness, so am I. I really want to get it done. Finish it. Finish it. I don't know if I can finish it. But okay. Alright. Well, then we got to stop having distractions in the chat. See, that's the problem. If I was just doing this by myself, I would have had this car done already. But these guys are chatting it up. Causing a whole bunch of shenanigans. Well, hold on, wait a minute. You can't tell him to get out of here. This is his car. I think he's entitled to stay. The silent game. me and my sister used to play the silent game all the time when we were kids. That was she always cheated. She talks a lot, so I would always win. Granted, the irony of that statement is I'm not starting another car tonight. That's not happening. Not at all. The irony of the silent game being played is I cannot be silent. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's music going on in the background. I don't even know what the music is. I should probably like change that for the next time we stream. But I can't play the silent game, otherwise it would be a pretty boring stream for you guys. Why do you retract a message? Boo. Don't be afraid. You know, I probably also would have had this car done if we play this on MRN. Okay, I'm starting to piece it together a little bit. MRN's not a radio broadcast, it's a human being, potentially. You guys, mum's the word. Okay, we're devolving into chaos. Wrong button. Oh my gosh. MRN, the Motor Racing Network. Do you guys have a fellow there that's also PRN, the Performance Racing Network? That would be kind of funny. What's up, Murph? Welcome, welcome. Good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. You've missed a lot tonight. There have been so many shenanigans taking place in the chat. It's been a lot of fun. Glad to see ya. He might have the misfortune of meeting him at Watkins Glen. Well, I'll be, you'll be my tour guide. Smoking that. I don't know what kind of music it is, but you guys can be my tour guide for Watkins Glen. So you can steer me in whatever direction away from or into whoever this individual is. Not for the better. So you guys are, I don't know if this is an inside joke. That's just, I mean, obviously it's an inside joke, but there's a chance that you guys are hyping it up more than it actually is worth. Guess we'll find out. I also liked when NASCAR did the like the green whatever. Like I don't really care about all that, like all that green stuff isn't the most interesting to me. It's a little slanted on the real car, but we'll back off the slant a little bit. But like when they do the NASCAR salutes and they put different 8-post decals. Now they don't even have 8-post decals on the Cup cars because the greenhouse area is so small. Stupid. They don't even have contingencies in the Cup Series. I have so many gripes with the Cup Series. The Xfinity Series is where it's at. The cars are still looking like race cars, and you can perfect the great skill of both the 1,000-yard stare and selective hearing. Dude, selective hearing, I have that very well. I'm really good at selective hearing. Honestly, yeah, Xfinity, it puts on better races too. The cars put on a better show. The drivers, I don't know, well, unless you're Austin Hill. Yeah, this one was a little angled down, but it's okay. We'll let it slide. Yeah, I'm just... They're always crooked. Well, it's kind of an awkward contour of the body because the post is going up, but then it also kind of wraps around the windshield, so I get it. I've put plenty of them on the diecast. Not a real car, but I get it. But yeah, the Xfinity series, in my opinion, is a lot more interesting than the current iteration of the Cup series. Bruh. Right side always looks better. Let's see. Let me go to my reference picture. Ooh, that one's slanted down too. I don't know. Being confident in that might be ill-advised. Also, the Goodyear is a little up on the wheel well. Do you guys put the Goodyears on too? This side's a little up. I didn't put that one on. Well, I'm just telling you what it looks like. Rap guys do that, okay. They just kind of show up. Well, at least the Goodyears show up on the car instead of the Ford Performance logos that somehow aren't on the car. Or at least they're on one side of the car. If I bring a sticker to Watkins Glen, can I put it somewhere on the car? Each decal is 5 horsepower. So, all right, I'll put it in a very aerodynamically special place that you'll gain. You'll lose horsepower, but you'll gain downforce. So it'll help you somewhat. Well, maybe you just have to put 5 more horsepower into the engine. Blaze, what's up? Welcome. How are you tonight? I am going to Watkins Glen, Murph. We're leaving on Friday, and then on Saturday I'll be taking this car to the Xfinity Series garage and giving it to one of the fellas in the chat, and Sunday we'll be going to the Cup race. I am using up the remaining money from my rain-out tickets from Michigan from 2 years ago on this Watkins Glen race. So this is the last of that. Drill holes in there. I saw the Sieg car and was immediately reeled into. Well, cool. Yeah. So I was asked to make this car by one of the members of the team, Mr. Dorman there in the chat. He wanted it because it was one of their top 5 cars. So this is from Pocono. And I have not seen a Ryan Sieg custom other than the ones that I've made. And this has been a really fun... I heard he's a race car driver. This has been a really fun stream. And this is probably one of my favorite cars that I've made. Honestly, I made the decals for it, and it's been fun. Oh, and if you're just joining, there are 2 RSS team members in the chat that have a lot of inside jokes with each other. Yeah, I agree. He's been outrunning a lot of the big dogs in the Xfinity series, and with a smaller team, which has been really fun to see. I think his first win's coming soon. I mean, they've been really close. Prefer the Haas drivers in Xfinity. I just like to watch the Xfinity series for the racing aspect of it. It's not always the best, but it's better. It's been better than most Cup racing lately. I think so too. Mayor's been pretty good. The stars just need to align for Sieg and his team. Yeah, guys, Robert and Cameron, make the stars align. Get your car into victory lane, fellas. Now, if and when you guys do win a race, do you think Lionel's gonna make the diecast, or do you think I'm gonna have to make that as well? Because I have a feeling it would be a pretty popular win. Probably me. Yeah, Lionel doesn't really make a ton of diecasts anymore. The DNP list, I don't know how closely you guys follow. A win sticker? I mean, you could put a win sticker on the car. It might not like represent actually winning, but you could put a sticker on your car. 2023 Sonoma win. 2023 Sonoma win. Who is that? 23. Was that Almirola? Did Almirola win that race? Was that 23 or was that 24 that he won that race? Yeah, the DMP list for Lionel is out of control. So many cars that they don't make. It's disappointing. Yeah, it was Almirola. Okay, yeah, I remember that race. They made that car, didn't they? I think Lionel made that car. That one they actually did, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I know. I don't need to get on my soapbox about Lionel again. They already caught a few strays this stream. It's unfortunate that the diecast industry has been monopolized. I'll say that. I'll leave it at that. 2020. You say old diecast from Lionel, like 2021, 2020. Dude, I got diecast from like 97, 98, 94. I mean, I wasn't born in 94, but I have those cars. Lionel didn't take over till 2011. So, yes, I have cars from 2011 also. Yes, old is a relative term. I don't disagree. But, yeah. Dorman was born in... He's doing pretty good for a 105-year-old person. Yeah, oh my gosh, you're not kidding, dude. The DMP list is insane. It really is. How many cars do not get produced these days? It's pretty disappointing. I 100% agree. Sorry. I am not doing very well at keeping this, bro. I'm pretty sure they've only offered up one though, haven't they? Didn't they offer the, was it the CMR roofing car or something? Actually, okay, so the RSS guys, you guys have had the, first of all, just the Xfinity series in general has the best throwback paint schemes. You guys put in the effort, you design everything. The sponsors all work well with adjusting their fonts, and the Xfinity series knocks Throwback Weekend out of the park. Cup Series continues to disappoint every single year, especially now that the stupid numbers are slid forward on the doors. I still don't understand that. But whatever. But yeah, you guys had some really, really cool throwbacks this year. I think one of yours was the throwback to the 28 car, I think. Good. Okay, there. Somebody in the industry, I'm sure there's others, but someone in the industry saying the number slid forward is a stupid idea. I know Mark Martin's pretty vocal about it. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, being backwards at that Bristol race was pretty whacked out. All right, guys. I'm getting tired. I'm old. Can't be doing this all night. Maybe I'll have to go live one other night this week or something to finish it up. It probably won't be a 2-hour stream like this one, or 2.5. I remember the next gen cars don't change. I remember ordering like 2164. Is it? Yeah, I kind of was excited about the next gen too. I'm not gonna lie. I got caught up in the hype. I was like, oh, this will be cool. Like, there's no way that they can regress. They've learned a ton of stuff. And then I started learning about it. And then, yeah, then I was just super disappointed in the next gen and how it races on all sorts of tracks. And I don't know if you guys ever go back and watch like old races on YouTube and stuff, but I do that semi-frequently, and every time I do, I just get more and more disappointed at the current state of NASCAR. And I'm sure this is what people said about like the mid-2000s or whatever, when they loved the 90s or the 80s, all that stuff, but honestly, the COT racing wasn't so bad. Like, going back and watching some of those races, compared to what we have now, I'll take the COT. Isn't the Xfinity car basically like this, what is it, this Gen 6 chassis on the COT body or something like that? You guys that are actually in the industry, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but something like that for the Xfinity series. They use older technology. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, that's what I thought. That's probably why it races so well. But now you guys have composite bodies, because the COT it was all sheet metal back then. But I think you guys are running composite bodies. Watered down cup car, basically. Yeah, if they put the horse, if I could have a perfect world, I would take the current Xfinity car, add horsepower into it, and let the cup guys run it. Whoa, the stream lagged like real big there. That was weird. That would be in my perfect world. But I don't run the sport. I'm just a guy making custom diecast on the internet. Like, what do I know about racing? I don't know anything. Literally just stop running this. Yeah, give you guys like 900 horsepower. So when you put the pedal on the floor, it breaks the traction and lets you guys race. Do you guys still run a restrictor plate at the plate tracks? Or is it just a tapered spacer? And then they just change it for the plate tracks? Because I think how much horsepower does an Xfinity car have? Like 600? If that? Tapered spacer, restrictor at all tracks, just spacer. Okay. Yeah, what is it? What's your horsepower? Yeah, I've been a NASCAR fan for like 20 plus years, so I have a whole lot of opinions. Because I kind of grew up watching NASCAR in its peak. 650, 700. I think it's 6. Yeah, okay. 630, normal restrict. 400. Blech. Let those things loose. Want some good American muscle. Unrestricted is 950. Oh, man. And those cars would scream down the straightaways back in the day. Those things were so loud. It was so much fun. going to the races back then. Yeah, I sound like a really, really old person, but oh, those races were fun. Yeah, I'm just a fan too. I've never been in the industry. To give a little bit of a background on me, I went to school for mechanical engineering because I wanted to get into NASCAR. Unfortunately, all of the NASCAR stuff pretty much happens in North Carolina-ish, with the exception of a few teams. And all of my family lives up here in Ohio. So moving down to North Carolina was never really an option. Yeah, also the schedule's crazy. You're on the road a lot of the year. You know, it's... Please, I have no money. Yeah. So for me, I have ThorSport up by me. ThorSport is like maybe an hour from where I live. But as far as like what I do now versus if I were to go work for ThorSport, the hours that I work now versus the pay versus the time, all that, it would be really cool, but it's just not feasible now that I have a house and a family and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see how it all pans out in the long run, but I'm just a fan. I graduated high school when I was 16, went to school for motorsports vehicle tech. 17. Yeah, see, I did not do that. I went to college for engineering and have not been anywhere near a race team. Yeah, we have a lot of local dirt track stuff around here too. We have quite a few local speedways and some asphalt too. We got some local asphalt tracks, local dirt tracks, modified sprint cars, some late model stuff. As far as like national touring series go, Michigan's the closest track, closest NASCAR track. The truck series went to Mid-Ohio a couple years ago. So I've been to that. IndyCar was just in Mid-Ohio. I was at that. I've been to Michigan plenty of times. Pretty much, I went to Michigan almost twice a year from 2005 all the way up until like 2020. And then Kentucky was kind of close. Now Kentucky is no more. Watkins Glen's like 5 hours from me. All right. Hey, thanks for joining, Cameron. Can't wait to meet you at Watkins Glen. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it's a good time. I really appreciate you joining. It's been fun. Aw, man, you're out too? I should just end the stream. Actually, it is 10:30. I should probably go to sleep. Mansfield. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, we did go to Mansfield. Yep. See you guys at the Glen. I might go live again to finish this car because I'm not going to get it done tonight. There's just no way. Yeah, you kind of got to obey the obey the laws of the road, unfortunately. So, yeah, I feel that. I never really wanted to be a driver, though. I always wanted to be I always wanted to work on the cars. That's kind of where the engineering mind came in. All right, guys. Well, I'll put these last 3 decals on, and then we'll call it. How about that? And then maybe we'll come back and do another stream later this week or on the weekend or something. Thank you. Yeah, it's been super fun. I really appreciate you guys all being here. I hate to like wind down the stream, but that's just kind of how it goes. It's been really, really fun interacting with you, all you guys in the chat. if you guys want to check out the channel, if you haven't already, go check it out, look at some videos, hang around if you want, hit the subscribe button, all that streamer stuff. I mean, you guys know, you're on YouTube, you get it. But yeah, it's been fun working on this car. It's a lot of work, I will say that, a lot of decals, but it looks really, really good. Hopefully you guys have been sufficiently entertained this evening. Yeah, do not outrun the police. Obey all traffic laws. I don't think that needs to be said, but please do not disobey traffic laws. Not only for your safety, but the safety of your fellow American on the road. I would not suggest disobeying traffic laws. They're there for a reason. Speed limits, believe it or not, have a purpose. So, I need to go lay down. My back hurts from sitting up this whole time. Yeah, GTA. 2 GTA. What do you think's gonna happen first? GTA 6 is gonna come out, or Ryan Sieg's gonna get his first Xfinity win? That's a poll question. I don't know how to do polls and stuff in the chat yet, but maybe I'll figure that out. That'll be the poll for the next stream. What comes first? Ryan Sieg's first Xfinity win or GTA 6 comes out, right? Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I kind of hope so. I kind of don't, because I'll end up being on the hook for that car too. But Sieg win. Yeah, hopefully. Sieg win kind of sounds like Seek win. I know, it's stupid, but it's just how my mind works. Both should happen. Yeah, I don't really play that many video games anymore. But I know, I saw the trailer for the GTA 6 and it looks impressive, to say the least. It does. It looks very impressive. All right, the last decal of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Creed win or Gray win? Yeah, I don't mind Connor Zilic, but he can move up to Cup already. Somebody else can take his spot. 3 personal favorites. Sieg, Creed. Yeah, I don't have a problem with Sheldon Creed. I just I don't really care much for him. I'm pretty indifferent. Was it Taylor Gray or Tanner Gray? One of the Grays. Same thing. I'm pretty indifferent. One way or the other. Doesn't really matter to me. I do like Ryan Sieg though. He's been at it for a while. Okay, everybody. Oh man, thank you guys for joining. I know it's been a long night, 2.5 hours. It has been a fun stream. This car looks so cool, what it started as versus where we currently sit. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for joining. I'll probably try to go live maybe again to finish it up. But yeah, just I hope you guys have a good night. Thank you for all the fun, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody.